Hello, Rob Watson here. Just testing the new bit of kit that I've got, which is a GoPro. I'm not sure what I'm doing because this is really the first time that I've used it properly. But today I'm in Leicester City Centre and I'm sitting in Green Dragon Square, which is where the old indoor marketplace used to be, and it was demolished a couple of years ago. And it's a really lovely day. The sun's very pleasant. If it had been like this throughout the throughout the whole of the summer, then it would have been a lot better. They have amplified music playing, so it's probably picking up all sorts of noise from different directions in the background. I'm not sure what and where it should be playing, but anyway, I'm just trying this out and seeing what the sound quality is like. I've got the Rode wireless mic. Hopefully it isn't picking up too much background noise and you can hear me okay. I'm not quite sure how to turn it from stereo to mono, so this is probably just done in mono at the moment, but I'll try and put it back into mono later on when I upload the video and process it and share it. So this morning I got up for a swim. It's a new habit I've got, or an old habit that I've got back into. I decided that I'd done too much sitting around, put too much weight on, and not enough exercise, not enough flexibility. So I got back into going to the gym and going for a swim 3 or 4 times a week now. Just something light, 40 minutes a session at a time, bit of mixed bit of resistance exercise on the machines, and then a little bit of 5-10 minutes cardio. So it's not. I just want to stick it to 40-45 minutes and not worry about it being, some kind of excessive. Just keep me feeling healthy and stretching, and also getting out in the morning. I used to be, out every day first thing. Now it got into the habit over the lockdown of starting work at 8 a.m. Now actually my habit is 3 times a week is to start work at 10 a.m. And then finish 5. Whether that means working through lunchtime or taking time out to go for a swim on different days, that's fine. I worked too much. I left full-time employment and went self-employed on the basis that I wanted to have a life, and you can't complain if the opportunities that you got to have that life, you're not taking advantage of them. So what did I do? I went for a swim, then I went to Leicester Market, which I've not been into the marketplace just before 9 o'clock for a long time. And it was nice because the fish stall was quite full. I bought some pork and some beef and some fish and some bacon and some pork scratchings, and it's a nice kind of keto-based food for the next couple of weeks. Try and get the weight loss, the fat loss going. I kind of do low carb on a week, as much as I can. But I've reached that point where there's a kind of plateau and I'm not seeing any additional loss. So of course, stop worrying about your weight and worry about your belt size is always the thing to watch out for. So I'm kind of hoping that my jeans, when I put them back on, because I'm wearing shorts, I hope when I put my jeans on they'll feel a little bit looser. I'm not sucking in as much, but it'd be nice to shift a few pounds and wear some better clothes, and also to kind of get out and be a bit active. I'm not as active as I used to be. I've got arthritis in one of my knees now, and that means that I can't do anything like running, which I used to do a lot. I used to run 3 or 4 times a week, probably in retrospect a bit of a mistake, but I could do 5 kilometres quite easily. And of course that's taken its toll on the joint in my knee, so I'll just have to kind of nurse that through. The one thing that I find really helps with that though is avocado mayonnaise. Amazingly, is like it keeps the whatever it is, the inflammation down. and I'm not in any kind of discomfort for the most part of the day if I have a good dollop of avocado mayonnaise. And it's very difficult. I have to order it through Amazon. It's quite difficult to get hold of. And then some young lads who are stoned being told to go and smoke somewhere else, and then putting fingers up. So nice Saturday afternoon in Leicester for you. So what did I do after I went to the market? Popped back home, had a coffee, sorted out my bags, and then I went to Gallatry Gate, which is where Boots is in Leicester, because I was helping out do some vox pops with the Friends of the Earth group, who are campaigning to raise awareness for COP26, and they were asking people to sign a petition, and that was quite fun. And I managed to get a couple of vox pops, which I'll put together as a podcast for the Leicester Stories site, and unfortunately, I kind of had to stop halfway through. I was expecting them to be there for 2 hours, but about an hour into it's about midday. A busker, young guy, turns up with a bass guitar, surprisingly, and an amplifier, and started to do his busking. And he was really good. He's a very good musician, and I can't deny anybody the opportunity to earn a living at the moment who's a musician, who's maybe not getting booked for gigs and things, but it did mean that the recording couldn't carry on, so that was the limit of that. But it was really nice to chat with people. And then what I'm going to do in a couple of minutes is I'm going over to Quetzal, which is a charity for South Asian women who've been affected by childhood sexual abuse, but they're a really good community engagement hub as well, and they've got an art exhibition on this afternoon, so I'm going to go out to that, and I will do my best to capture some footage and some images from that. Right, let's go and see what this is like to have a bit of a stroll, and I'll just get my bag and my hair sorted. I've got a couple of bags with me. We'll go for a little wander. So, sunglasses on. I'm still recording, I think, so let's do a turnaround and let's see if there's anything up on the screen. How do you... Because it's so bright I can't see what we're actually recording, but it is doing something, so let's wander about a bit. Really, what I might do is just go and sit in somewhere quiet like the park. I might go to Castle Gardens and just sit and read my book for an hour. I've got some coffee with me, and I bought some ham and some pork scratchings from the market. Now we're just coming up to Cafe Orso, where I've not long had a coffee. That's quite busy today. They seem to be doing a brisk trade. I'm going to walk through St Martin's up to the cathedral, which is, you can't really see anything exciting because they're doing a lot of building work at the moment. They've got a big extension. Now, a thought has just struck me. It's really funny, you can feel a bit more comfortable walking along the street with headphones in, talking to yourself, because people think that you're on the phone. Now, one thought has just struck me. I don't know whether I've set this up right to be using the internal or the external microphone. I seem to recall from a YouTube video I watched that it might need an external mic. Let's just have a quick look. This is Loseby Lane. This is St Martin's. It's nice to see lots of people out and about. I took the plunge and got the latest GoPro 10, which is apparently has got really good image stabilization on it. So I'm not using a gimbal. So not really sure whether it makes a difference. This is the Richard III Visitors Centre. This is the Richard III statue that they moved. And this is Leicester Cathedral. Which, as you can see at the moment, is a building site. What I'll do is take a walk onto Jubilee Square around the corner. And we can look and see who's out and about there. So you've got the De Montfort University campus just up the road over there. They've got their welcome day today, so they've got lots of tents out. Lots of universities seem to have money to spend on open days and events. There's also a rugby match taking place today. So lots of Tigers fans walking through the town centre. Some kind of a protest taking place. I wonder what this is about.
Sorry, but I have to say it.
It looks like an anti-vax campaign, and they're getting a bit of abuse from a load of people. Somebody with a media as the virus. Well, you know, tell that to people on your deathbed when you catch COVID. I had COVID a couple of times last year and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. And regardless of how healthy you think you are, it's likely that you're going to do quite serious harm to you and long-lasting harm. So good luck to them. it's up to them to see what their choice is, but please don't impose it on anybody else. Because if we didn't have the vaccine, then we'd still be in an endless lockdown, because there's really no other way of dealing with it than by making sure that everybody's vaccinated and the vast majority of the population is safe. And in fact, safer when they have the vaccine. So more noise than sense. So this is the walk up to, this is a terrible junction in Leicester. The traffic really speeds around here. There's been a number of accidents along this road on a regular basis, but nothing ever seems to get done to slow it down. So the cars really speed up, they accelerate into the bend. It's not very safe for pedestrians, it's noisy. 3 lanes of very fast moving traffic, they accelerate away as they come around the corner. It really needs some kind of moderation and reduction in speed limit. It's more like a motorway in the town centre. You've got pretty big cars. They just seem to push the the accelerator down, and it's this stretch because they can't really get far without having to brake for traffic lights. So they must get very frustrated. Here, where that grey van is, last year there was a car had mounted the you can see where the concrete has been broken apart, and there's a car mounted the grass verge. Right, we're coming into Castle Gardens, so I'm going to find somewhere to sit down for a bit. One of the things I think this is my new hobby, and it's a combination of video walks and sound walks. Right. Where's a nice place to sit? I think I'll sit over here. Set the camera up on its monopod. Right, so Castle Gardens. The first time I came to Leicester, I was at an event at De Montfort University where I came to study, and there was an open day for looking for accommodation, and I think I came and sat in the gardens and thought, oh, this is a really nice pleasant place, and didn't really take into account the extent of the traffic on the King Richard Road and how much of it is really a motorway. Right. So, that's it for now. Hello again. So here I am in Castle Park, enjoying sitting on the grass. Got my sunglasses and my hat on because it's quite bright. I'm reposed in a lounge because it seems a bit more fitting for the weather. And hopefully I'm recording from the wireless mic now, whereas previously I think I was actually recording from the onboard mic, so it'll be interesting to hear the two. So apologies if there's a wide variation in the sound quality. I'm not used to this yet. I've just got to do all the double checking about figuring out how it works and how to get the best out of it and how to read stuff on a small screen. So I think when I'm using this GoPro, I'm going to have to always be wearing my reading glasses with me. Take me reading glasses with me. Yeah, I was just saying I was listening to Mozart earlier, Symphony number 40 I think it was, and earlier this morning I was listening to Magical Mystery Tour by the Beatles, and I always think it's an underrated album. Well, it was originally released as 2 EPs, which, you know, you kind of, I don't know whether you get that kind of thing anymore, but certainly it was, you know, kind of a looser pattern of the relationship between singles and albums and stuff wasn't as defined as it is these days. You know, the Beatles released a lot of singles which weren't on any albums, like Hey Jude and stuff like that. And so Magical Mystery Tour, it came out of that burst that Sergeant, you know, it was almost like a continuous part of the same process of Sergeant Pepper. Resumed a couple of weeks after, and indeed, I think, what was it? I Am the Walrus, Strawberry Fields was actually recorded before stuff on Sergeant Pepper. I think I'm right in that. I might be wrong. But it's a great album, and it's got a real variety of stuff. And it's, you know, some it stands up. It's kind of on the par with Sergeant Pepper. I just think it was the timing. You know, if they'd have done it in reverse, I wonder what people would think about it. You know, it's kind of like the next turn in the next page, but you're still reading the same story. And then, of course, they went on to do the White Album after that, after taking a bit more of a break, and you know, the India stuff, going off to India. But yeah, I was like the Beatles, and don't really talk about them enough, and why I think they're important. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm not really saying anything of any value, but I will be keeping that aim, and I'm not going to do videos where you see people where they cut lots and lots out and it's like highly edited. I really can't be bothered, so it's going to be a lot of long pauses and rambling while I gather my thoughts. But, you know, this is a trial. Let's see how it works.